in some cases you won't yet, maybe. Yeah. Sharing the content out with them. I would suggest to you that nurture is primarily about email marketing or text messaging or maybe social media to some extent. You're putting enough good value content in front of the people who've already begun to know and like you so they can trust you now. And so you're trying to build a relationship with all that. So once you have all those things in place, now you're ready to open the doors wide and do what we want to talk about today, and that is attract. So this is the model that I help people walk through. Banner, build, engage, nurture, and attract. And we're going to talk about the attract piece today. How do I get more people? I've got everything in place that I need. Now I just want to scale it up and get more eyeballs on what we've got with all that. So let's take a look at that. So questions, you've given me some of them today. Just in case you're wondering why you should be spending more time and energy on this topic, here are 4 reasons that I've come up with that I think make sense. Number 1, you want to sell more stuff. Whatever that stuff is for you, you want to sell more of it. So that's a good reason. More people come in, should be more people engage with you. Okay, number 2, at least let's try to generate some leads and build an email list, right? That would be a good goal to happen out of that. Third one, this is a byproduct of it. You get more people coming to your website, you should make improvements in your search engine rankings, which in turn will get more people coming to your website. So if there's no other good reason, it's a good SEO decision to increase traffic to your website. But obviously, if that traffic is one page and out, bounce traffic, that doesn't help you necessarily. You want them to engage in with your content. So they've got to be the right people. There was a day years ago, I remember, in the world of marketing, and it sounds crazy, and it probably still happens today, but I had clients who had been in business a long time, and we just built a Facebook page for them. So they've been around for like 10 plus years. They hadn't got in on the first wave of Facebook pages, and now they're ready to do that. But they were too embarrassed to open a Facebook page and promote it with only 2 people who liked the page. And this was back a few years ago when it was almost like a number on the page that told you how many people liked your page. And they're like, man, we can't do this. And so, in my wisdom, I found a way to go out and buy a whole bunch of likes for a Facebook page, so the number went from 2 to like 1,000 overnight with all of that. Wasn't really a good idea. Didn't. I mean, it helped for their ego maybe, but it didn't really help their cause because they're the wrong people. And my concern sometimes is we are trying to push really hard to get anybody to come visit our site. We don't want just anybody. We want the right people with all of that. And then last with that is it really does verify your legitimacy as a company. I have this happen a lot. And because I have chat on my website, I know it happens a lot. Somebody says something to someone about maybe working with me or something like that, or I meet somebody, and then they head over to my website and they start looking at my stuff and reading things and going, Then all of a sudden they might have a question and they drop in the chat and they ask them. And often they'll say, well, such and such said I should go visit your website. So now with what I've got built, my goal with that is to drive more people that gives legitimacy to who I am and what I do and what I offer that might get somebody to take the next step. Do you think of any other reasons that I don't have up there? Derek, good morning.
How you doing?
Good. Glad you joined us.
Chatted with you just yesterday on your website.
Yes, you was. Over the weekend. Derek had nothing better to do than visit my website. I understand that. Any other reasons you can think of? Those are 4 good reasons, right? If nothing else, right? Sell more stuff. That's a good reason right there. All right. So originally I said I was going to do 12, but I ended up with 13 things I'm going to share with you today. Here's the problem. It's not easy. It does take some focused work, some time, some effort to achieve some of the objectives of what I'm talking about today. So, as I go through and share these 13 things with you, I don't want you to think at all that this is a checklist of things you must do. This is like going to, I was going to say Golden Corral, but I don't know if everybody really is a fan of Golden Corral, but a beautiful smorgasbord.
Love brunch.
And you know you can't eat everything on the table. Well, you probably could, but you shouldn't. Let's put it that way. And you're going to have to make some choices from what's there. This list is very much that way. And I would suggest as you go through, I've given you a box for each of them here where you can write some things down. I would suggest you, in the top right-hand corner, as we do this here, put one of three symbols up there. So you can come back and review, because at the very end I got some things I want you to do. Put a check if it's yes, absolutely. This is one that I definitely want to put into my mix going forward. You come back and revise later. An X if you say, no, this is not for me. This is not going to work for my business model, for whatever the case is, I'm out. Or a question mark saying, this is a maybe. This one might work. We've got to investigate that a little bit further. As we go through, feel free to ask any questions that you might have on any of these, and then we can also address some of them. All right, number one on the list, paid advertising. Are any of you running paid ads right now? Google, Facebook, or anything like that? Yep. Okay? So most aren't in that regard. Why aren't you? I guess is my big question for those who are not. Why aren't you?
I don't trust Facebook ads.
You don't trust them?
No. Because you can get engagement, but it doesn't usually lead to significant. I don't like their metrics, I guess is the.
Okay. And this, what we're talking about is next week, so I won't get into it very deeply, but next week, that's the topic, using those, but I would argue probably that it's up to you to control some of that. You can control some of that. And I've seen some really good things come from Facebook ads, but it's not the only game in town, that's for sure. Okay, any other reasons why? No?
Boosting Facebook posts and that hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
So I thought it was only down the toilet.
How will I put this? Boosting is not a complete waste of money, but it almost is. Because Facebook's basically tying, two hands and one leg behind you and saying, okay, let us make the decisions for you. I don't think so much. There is a way to boost that works, but the way it's presented, I was here till 7:30 working with somebody last night, trying to help them look at their current. They're spending a bunch on ads and trying to work out what's going wrong. And in the mix, they're boosting stuff, and it's not helping anything. So I totally get that. I would suggest that probably the big reason is just you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do to actually do it. So the easiest mechanism is just to stop. Here are a few things to consider. I don't think any of these are surprises to us. I do think there's a place for Facebook. I think there's a place for Facebook in nearly any business out there. And like I said, we'll have a little bit of a conversation. It's not all about Facebook ads, but next week the topic is using Facebook ads to really determine who your ideal people are. And I'll share with you real campaigns that I've got going for people right now, where we've learned a ton of stuff about who their audience is, some of which they didn't even know themselves, through using those ads and the mechanisms for that, and not spending very much money into that. Google AdWords, that's scary territory. Chris, are you in that space?
I tried it and I've been really ineffective with it.
I don't do Google AdWords. I do Facebook ads for people, but I don't do Google AdWords for people. It's a beast. What I do, because I think there's a place for it, is I do AdWords Express. I don't know if any of you have heard of that. It's a lightweight version of Google AdWords. Here's the reality for paid advertising. With Google, you're paying to show up when people do a Google search. So if somebody's looking for a business consultant, and they do a Google search, and shows up in that search, what's the possibility that they may be a match for what you do for them? But if they're doing a Google search for it, you know, maybe their search term is, I need a business consultant, and you show up, that's a pretty good sign, right? It's a pretty good match at that point, right?
It's how that they present it.
But Google is search. Facebook advertising is push advertising. I used to live in LA and I'd make trips over to Las Vegas on occasions. You walk down the strip at certain times in Las Vegas if you've been there, and there are people pushing pieces of paper at you left and right on places to go. For better or for worse, that's what Facebook advertising is to potential people. That's the negative of it. You didn't come looking for whatever it is that somebody's offering. But I also know how we work as human beings, and I've seen it over and over again. Just because you didn't come looking for that doesn't mean to say you weren't looking for it, or subconsciously you're now not, now you're interested in what that service is at all. It's an awareness piece. And the great thing about what Facebook does is you're able to save that ad and come back to it if you want. But the best ads are designed to get you to take a small next step. And if you will click on that, there's tracking that can happen behind the scenes that will allow more things to happen. So there's a place for it, but you do have to be careful. You can't just go crazy with that. But I know companies that are spending, I know a company that's spending $1 million a month on ads on Facebook. And I can tell you this, you don't do that for month 2 if month 1 wasn't successful, right? Et cetera, et cetera. So there is a key, there is a formula to it, and it has a place. Here's the model that I really like, that everybody should be doing, in my opinion, whether it's on Google or on Facebook. You need to be doing a form of this. Do you know what this is? Anybody know what this is here? When it's really cold. I didn't put the word up there because I don't want to see. Anybody know what it's called? It starts with the letter R. I'm sure there's lots of words that might be coming to your mind. But retargeting. This is retargeting. So somebody, here's how it works. A prospect visits your website. You have a tracking code on the website that identifies them. You don't know them by name. You don't know that Jill came to your website. But there's a little piece that's now following Jill around. The prospect leaves your site. They go on Google. They go on Facebook or on other different sites. And lo and behold, your ads show up in their world. They have freaked out. Maybe not so much today, but a few years ago, people would just be like, I'd talk to people and they'd be like, man, this just freaked me out so bad. I went to visit the site, and now all of a sudden I see them everywhere. Oh, funny though. You can do that, and you can do that for very little a month. If they went to your website, and you create various rules on that, if they went to your website and were on your website for at least a minute, 30 seconds, you can show ads to them. But if they were there less than that, you don't show ads. There's lots of cool ways to do it. But I would suggest you, number one on all of this, that's a really big thing to be thinking about if you're not employing any of your business. But your website needs to be ready. Because if it's not ready, you're wasting money, pouring money down a sinkhole instead of driving. So number one, pay ads.